Hey YouTubers, I am in the shop today. I'm making this haul table for a customer and she wants kind of a specific color. We discussed it and I am hoping that I know what she wants. So I'm just mixing stains. I'm playing with colors until I get it right. This is basically just pine and spruce, so I got a couple scraps from the project that I cut up, and I got some little Dixie cups and I poured some different colored stains in them. One of the things I wanted to mention is that the importance of stirring these stains. On the bottom, there's pigment in all these stains, and on the bottom the pigment collects, and if you put a little stick of wood or paint stirrer or whatever in there, you'll feel it. And if you feel it clumped up on the bottom, you really got to give it a good stir and get that pigment back into the rest of the varnish or finish or whatever the base of the stain is, so that you get the true even color of, you know, what the can's trying to tell you. So there's no right or wrong, but the thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is that if you don't make enough to finish the project, it's going to be hard to duplicate that color again. So I always try to make twice as much as I think I'm going to use. That way there's extra. So if I nick a piece, there's always extra. Sometimes I'll give it to the customer and say, if you nick this, it's a custom color, so this is the only color that'll match. Let me go grab a bigger cup. On these little cups, I just made a line about halfway up. I tried to get them in the same spot on both cups, so I can kind of keep track of the mixture that I'm making. So right now I got half a cup of weathered oak and half a cup of espresso. So I mix those in. I'm going to stir those together. So now if I go to make this, at least I know, if I add a full cup, then I need a full cup. I'm just going to get a little paper towel, maybe a glove. The kids used all my gloves. That is not really what I'm looking for. I need more of a gray color. Let me try adding another half a cup of gray. Yep, that spilled and made a mess. So on this piece of wood, I'm just going to mark that the top is 50-50. And then I'm going to need another paper towel. So this color is 2-to-1 weathered gray and espresso, and it still looks like it's not that gray color that I'm looking for. And it might be that I need to add, I'm kind of looking for a dark gray here. This doesn't look any different. Maybe I just need the weathered gray with just a splash of, I mean, that looks exactly the same. so this is 100 to 50 on this side. But neither one of these are right, so this whole thing is garbage. I think what I'm going to try to do is add just a splash of ebony into the gray. And now all that I mixed is no good. So let's keep trying it. Okay, so I have ebony here. Just going to pop this open and give this a stir. This one we're not going to be using. Didn't do anything for us. Oh, you can really feel the clumps on the bottom of this one. Must have been a while since I used this. So I'm going to take some time and scrape it all off the sides and the bottom. I almost need a firmer stick. This is really packed on the bottom of here. That's coming. You can see, I don't know if you can see the clumps. Let me see if I can bring that up. See the clump that's on there? I mean, that's all the pigment that's on the bottom of the can. So, I'm going to mix this really good till I don't feel any more clumps. So what'll happen if you don't stir it is that you'll still get, you know, the ebony's black, so you'll still get a black color, but you won't get the truest black. So it'll be more of a really dark gray. I mean, you're just taking some of the color out of what this is. To be honest, I probably could have just used it without stirring it, and that's probably the color that she wants. But then that screws it up for the next time, so that the ebony is not the same as, because I took finish out without stirring the pigments, then it's too dark on the next run. And this is not like polyurethane. It's okay if you get some bubbles. It makes no difference. And when you're doing stain, you put it on, and the longer that you leave it on, it gets a little darker if you leave it on longer. You can do multiple coats. You can put it on with a brush. You can put it on with one of those foam things, which I can't stand. Or you could just wipe it on with a rag, a paper towel. If you're using stain one way or another, you're using a paper towel, because you're either brushing it on and wiping off the excess with a rag, or you just wipe it on with a rag. Okay. Okay, I got that mixed up good. So now I want to try, I'm going to do just do a full cup. This weathered oak stain, I don't like this. So if I waste it, I don't care. I'm going to do a half a cup. And then into that, I'm just going to put a splash of this ebony. And I know I didn't measure it, but we'll see how this comes out. So we stir those together. Another rag, another scrap piece of wood. Now, I didn't sand these scraps a piece of wood, and that does make a little bit of a difference. Okay, so that is a little too light. I want it a little bit darker, so I'm just going to put, where's this ebony? I'm going to put a little more of this ebony in here. Stir it up again. You know what, give me a little bit more of that. Flip this over, another rag, another test piece. And now we're getting somewhere. I think this might be it. I think that looks perfect. So if I now I got to figure out how I did that. I have close to enough to do that, but I'm going to make a big cup of that kind of mixture, and that's what I'm going to use. So now I have my color. You can see this is total trial and error. I'm sure that you could be scientific about it, but I'm not a scientific person. I just want to build stuff. I don't want to finish it. But that is a perfect color. Okay. So I'm probably going to need about this whole cup. So I should really make a bigger cup. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm never going to use this weathered oak. I don't like it, so I'm just going to make it. I like this color much better. So I'm going to mix this until I get the color that I want. That's it. That looks good. I think that's good. So let me show you. This is kind of the color I was going for. And this is maybe just a touch darker, but it's still good. And it's right there in that same realm. So that will be the color of this hall table. And I will make sure that this is all mixed up good. I'm going to go clean this bench up and I guess start staining. Stop watching. Show me. Oh, you're not watching me clean up. These are trade secrets that I have to keep this shop. tip-top order. Can't give that out.